so many things came to mind, and the first thing I think I'll speak to is just the culture. You know, not everybody grew up in church or was raised in church, but I was one that was born basically on the pews. And when I became old enough to be conscious of what was going around, every church has a culture. Now, specifically, what I want to speak to is whether or not the culture that exists in the church as we have known it is conducing to the healing and the restoration of God. Now, let me tap into that mask that you said you saw, bro. You know, the when leadership wears a mask, it does a disservice to the people who need to see even the wounds that they have. It's through Jesus exposing his wounds. You see what I'm saying? That Thomas was able to get a revelation of who he was. You see? So there are things that people experience in ministry as leaders, and there are also things that people are coming to. People come to the house of God, and they're attaching. There's a myth that exists that says, "Okay, I'm attaching myself to this leader because I believe them to be perfect." It's almost like, I guess what I'm trying to say is there's a culture that makes people feel as if they have to come to the house of God and come in the midst of the people of God, being being perfect, being the epitome of perfection, having no flaws, having no wounds. And so that's what makes people feel as if they have to participate in the being an actor. You see what I'm saying? Behaving as if everything is okay when it really isn't. But the reality is, the only time, the scripture said, it's through the blueness of a wound that iniquity is purged. It's through the blueness of a wound that iniquity is purged. Come unto me, all you that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. But that rest can only come when there's an exposure. And that exposure is the transparency. It takes, somebody told me, you have to be strong enough to acknowledge weakness to access the strength of God.